Welcome to The Vault with Finance Child. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits.
None. I wish there was.
None.
We go wide.
How controversial are we going today?
Very.
Depends what you come up with. Oh,
Well, just you wait till dilemma number 2.
okay.
That's all I'll say. Okay, but let's start off with today's controversial opinion, which is you don't need to send your child back to school with all the latest gear.
This is relevant for us.
Oh,
Seems
Holly's
like
Nearly back
soapbox
to
is
school.
conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm part of the PTFA at my school. If you didn't know already, Laura's like, shut up. But I, this year, have bought all my children pre-loved school jumpers
That's cool.
because they're really, anything personalised, I'm going to put it out there, for all the people that got a side hustle doing personalised gifts, they're actually really bad for the environment, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You can't send it to a charity shop like Holly's pencil case.
You could, it'd be weird.
You could.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to find the one.
Niche.
There might need to be a charity shop whereby you donate all personalised things and then people go and then find the name, whatever. But it's not as simple as that, obviously.
Holly's hen.
Yeah.
Hen
Yeah,
do.
all the hen do stuff.
Yeah.
Lucy's engagement
God, yeah.
party, Lucy's graduation. Like, it's lovely and it's thoughtful, but it's actually really bad for the environment. And so I bought in really good condition as well, because jumpers, the kids barely wear them. I'm not talking like polos from M&S or Sainsbury's or Morrison's where they do a 20% off and it's really, you can then
Standardised,
donate.
isn't it? Yeah.
The blue, white, whatever, you can donate those really easy. And we have done this year too. And if you don't know what to do with your school uniform that's unbranded, you can send it to like a food bank style place where children that can't afford uniform, don't have a uniform, can get shorts, pinafores, summer dresses. They can all be donated, so that's fine. But anything that's branded with a badge on,
Yep.
for my children's school, it's really hard to then gift that anywhere and you can't recycle it. So no, this year my big thing is we're gonna buy the pre-loved jumpers. So I think I bought them for like £2 each.
Oh my God, that's
And
so good.
to buy them full price, they'd be like £14
Just
each.
on Vinted, or is there?
No, in school.
Oh, sorry.
So
yeah.
we've got a rail in school and you can look
Sorry.
through them. They're in size order. It's fabulous, but it's just a consideration. And then I was looking at the lunch boxes thinking, right, they need to pick a new lunchbox. And I was like, why
you
are we
don't.
picking a new lunchbox? I
No.
literally said it out loud. I was like, why do we do this?
Yeah.
The drinks bottle, absolutely fine. School shoes, absolutely fine. So I'm much more
It
conscious.
is so funny to think about, actually.
Why?
Like,
Why are we throwing think of all the
Doesn't just
millions
expire
of
in
items that are going to
July.
get thrown away in July just because it's new school year in September?
But because the other element to we have the uniform debate, especially with the older kids at like high school,
kills
the
me,
blazer
that.
things. Like we've like when it's hot over the summer, the summer when it's like July before they break up, and they all have to wear like a tie.
A shirt,
and a blazer and a
tie,
shirt.
blazer and jumper. at
And
some
they're
schools.
really expensive. Like Ava's uniform has the emblem on the skirt and the jumper, and the jumper and the blazer. So you have to buy you can't go to M&S or wherever for the skirt. You have to buy that one.
And they're not cheap.
And they're wearing these outfits which don't look that smart. They're like 1990s smart.
Yeah.
And I think you've said this before, like people don't wear suits to work anymore
No, it was
most
to
of the
get
time.
the kids ready.
yeah.
To go into
Be
an
in a
office job.
professional environment. But can we just remember that they then go to college first? So you go through high school in a shirt and tie and a blazer, and then you go slobbing around in your trackies for 2 years, and then you go to uni and wear whatever
even
you
more
want.
slobby.
And then you start a job and they don't wear
And then you go in and they wear casual t-shirts
blazer.
and jeans or chinos and
yeah,
they don't.
or you tech bro, you wear a vest, like a
vest?
Patagonia
I
vest.
thought you meant like a sleeveless.
I mean,
I was like, ew.
whatever. Do you know what I mean, though? It's not reflective. We've not moved on with
Yeah.
the time. So
But families have to find the money to pay for uniform. This wasn't a controversial opinion, but it's like the gear thing is interesting because is it getting better? Like when we were at school, there wasn't like the discount retailers where you could do fast fashion, which was good thing, bad thing. Things are expensive, like Nike Air Maxes are expensive, so people are having to buy those for the kids because there's a phone thing, like as people, what phones has everyone got and how do you find the money for that? Like our parents found cheap phones that they were just coming out. I remember getting my
BT
phone.
Cellnet with a sticker.
Yeah.
To put a sticker on the front of it so as you cover. So you had a Union Jack one, do you remember? And you had to
Lucy's
make
like,
your own
"What?"
ringtone.
Oh my gosh. Oh
He
God.
did.
You had
He
to
did.
type in the
But
numbers.
you could buy them
to
for like
create the
£2
ringtone,
and it was the code.
give you a code, and then you'd do it wrong and it'd go
Mine was-
like because you get
Mine
the
was
wrong
all
one.
McDonald had a farm.
Yeah, and you'd have to
Oh my
start
God.
again though if you got one of them wrong. Anyway,
But the like the gear thing, I think having just talked about sustainability, but one of the benefits of having your discount retailers is that people can keep up with fashion. I think they're a little less designer focused, maybe
It's
teenagers
like
than they
two
were.
extremes. Like you can, the Nike Air Max and the thing, there's certain items that people will buy designer, but then the majority, I imagine, of what people wear are accessible items like your Shein, like, unfortunately, New Look, whatever, Pretty Little Thing, like all that. You can emulate a look. Like girls, when you see them, we get interviewed on the street. It's very rare that there'd be a designer item, and if there's one, if it was any item, it'd be like a handbag or something, or a coat. It's never like the look.
I remember going to a charity ball that was put on by the Sudulo Foundation, which is an accountants company up in Manchester, but they've got this like children's foundation and they work with underprivileged kids. And one of the things they do, because they do it for lots of different ages, but for teens, is ready for the start of the school year, they get like a bit of a goodie bag. And so they work with like literally thousands of kids that fall into this category. And it's like, I don't know if JD work with them actually. We'll see, because they get people to contribute and they also pay for these bags. But let's say they do JD sports bags. It comes in the bag. So then they can use that bag like they bought an item.
Yeah.
And then they put loads of like health stuff, like some deodorant and like stuff that gets them started for the year. But the best thing they put in it is a Nike water bottle. And it's because it's a leveler. It's a status symbol because it is, it's not the latest gear, but it's a designer. Obviously, it's a status symbol. It's Nike. It could be used every day.
Yeah.
And like you don't tend to change fashion
grow
of a
out
water
of them.
bottle. You don't grow out of them.
Yeah.
They don't really get damaged.
No.
And so just for like a £10 to £15 investment in a water bottle, you've helped someone keep up with the Joneses a little bit in their own way. But subtly. And so it was interesting when he was saying that, because I forgot that that's what children go through.
Yeah.
And as parents, we just don't want our children to be picked on. We don't want them to feel left out. We don't want them to feel like they're not worth it. But at the same time, for lots of people, money is tight. And you want them to not focus on the wrong things as well. They're like, who cares? What about that one? Like you said.
You can imagine, like, I remember being at high school and it'd be a thing. Like, you'd go and get your new pencil case, new colours, new that. The amount of pencils I've got in my house, like, I just need a sharpener. I don't need a new set of felt tips, biros, gel pens. Like, you just get sucked into this new year.
Dopamine hit. I used to love it. I used to love buying new pens.
Yeah.
But like, I could buy pens in May.
Yeah.
Like, Ava needs pens now. And she was looking for a pen in a room and I was like, Eva, whenever you need pens, will you just tell me?
Yeah.
Like,
I'll buy you a set of pens.
We'll buy you pens. Like, we don't. And she's like, oh, she's not bothered. But actually, there's no need to wait until
September.
Yeah, like Albie needed new school shoes recently, so I wasn't like, wear them.
Some people do wait though. It's a thing. It's like a deadline, and then they renew. But I literally was gonna be like, oh, I'll get the lunch at the beginning of the year because it gets busy. Summer holidays, they'll all go, and I was like, Holly, why are you buying them new lunch boxes? They're literally fine. I clean them every time. If you keep on top of them and you clean them, they're absolutely fine.
I think we'll definitely revisit it. Well, like most of the kids we're talking about are primary school kids, but it might get worse. Probably will get worse.
Yeah, I imagine it is, because you're like, I'm not using. You can imagine teenagers pushing back. Like Teddy and Woody wouldn't think to be like, I need a new lunchbox. I'm not going in. They couldn't care less. Maybe when they get to like a 13-year-old girl, she's like, well, I can't have
the same
I don't
bag.
know, Sabrina Carpenter pencil case because she's not in anymore. It's, I don't even know, CMAT. It's dropping Alma.
Yeah.
No, music like Colin's laughing. My kids keep singing. Alexa, play Take a Sexy Picture of Me. He's like 6 years old. Singing the whole words.
You've probably just set everyone's Alexas off as well, by the way.
Take a sexy picture of me.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I remember being in high school and being like, it was literally August and I was like, I'm planning all my bags.
Yeah.
Like,
oh God, your list.
Morgan
Lucy's
bags.
Lists. Morgan bags.
Morgan
de Troyes.
Morgan de Troyes. There used to be a Morgan bag. It would be black, like a Jane. It might have been Jane Norman for you. Oh, is that even too?
No, everyone used to use that for their like PE kits. Jane Norman, or then it went to like Hollister.
Oh, okay.
And you'd have like a naked man on the back. Like this.
Appropriate.
Yeah, and then they got banned.
Did they? Yeah. Well, Abercrombie got cancelled, so
yeah,
we won't allow them.
Okay, time for our first dilemma. Can you bounce back from a credit default? Hey girls, I have a question for you about defaults, because I don't think it's something that's been discussed in loads of detail before, and I'd love to hear your take on them. Me and my partner both have a couple of defaults on old credit cards, which happened during a really tough time in our lives when we were both dealing with illnesses. We're now back on our feet and are really focused on sorting out our finances, and we've made it a priority to settle the defaulted balances, mainly to start healing our credit scores. But I know technically we have other debts with lower balances, like phones and furniture loans, which would come first in a classic debt snowball strategy. So my question is, are we doing the right thing by tackling the defaults first? And more generally, what is the best way to handle defaults, and how much damage do they actually do to your credit long term?
I feel like she's so remorseful and guilty. Like she feels so guilty for a score. Like it's like a reflection of her. Don't you think? Like people...
Credit scores are bizarre. Like and how they make people feel in a negative way.
They do. And, like we talked about the gamification of credit scores quite often and the danger of it, the danger where people like kind of... People are encouraged, they take out credit and they use it to kind of show, and then suddenly they get into a situation where this isn't this person, but it's gamified all around potentially getting a mortgage, maybe getting a finance car if people want to do that. When they don't know that, but they could have got one anyway, they don't know it. There is evidence, unfortunately, that having credit and paying it off at some point will have helped it, but you can also do it with lots of different ways. Like we talk about this with like phone contracts once in a while. Like if you can get a phone contract. It doesn't have to be a device. It can just be a contract that you pay monthly for, but it shows that you can pay bills on time. There's lots of different things you can do to have evidence of frequent payments. Sometimes you can even look at rent payments and get them to count towards
some companies now that are trying to get your rent history. Put as forward as like proof that you can get a mortgage and you're a reliable bill payer.
You can make sure that you are not connected to any people that have like financial issues. It's financially linked now. If you are technically linked to them in terms of a loan or something, then you have to be. But having things like your address is correct on everything and consistent, and names, electoral register. There's lots that you can do to build up a credit history. And then the other thing is with these getting your free credit report, like I'm always conflicted with them, because some of these companies that provide free credit reports entice you to take on more debts to boost your score. But parking that, they are really helpful for keeping on top of things like default. So what I presume's happened, and she shared this, is they've missed payments at some point. There's been an area of their life, and this is not a preach to her, but this is generally what people don't think through when they're taking on credit. It's not percent, it's fine. And life hits you, health hits both of them, and suddenly they can't make a payment. And that's on your credit file. Now, firstly, that's not the end of the world. You are entitled to miss a payment. I would never recommend doing it, but you're not a bad person for missing a payment on something. But that's what happens. And some people think that 0%, or credit's a really good idea until it's not. And so, she's now in a situation where she's got these, like, when you get your report, like it'll show like a red flag. It's like a flag on your report. And I think Snowball, we're always very transparent with the fact that Snowball and Avalanche, for example, are two different methods that you can use to pay off your debts. What we know is that focusing on overpaying one debt at a time is the quickest way to become debt-free. A Harvard study showed that doing the debt snowball works better, because motivationally we like paying off the little debt, and so we do
get a win, don't you?
Get a win,
yeah. So that's your dopamine hit, and then you go, I want to get that again. So then you go on to the next one.
So it's not a maths thing,
chunky mountain.
You're just paying a little
bit
of
everything. It's exhausting.
Yeah, and so but mathematically, someone would say, "Oh, Avalanche is better," because if you've got something with a really high interest rate, actually, mathematically, you should pay that off more quickly. What the snowball method says is you just get more aggressive, like you get excited about it, you find extra money, you
get momentum.
You get momentum. And so that's why when we talk about Snowball and Avalanche, I think with credit defaults, the most important thing to do is to get current. And so we don't want to be missing any payments. So on all items, even if you've missed a couple of payments on something, as soon as you can, get back on your minimums, because that way you get no more defaults. And you can have your conversations with the debt providers about how you can catch up if you're behind, and make sure that you pay any fees that are required. And so I can't tell you which order to do it in, because none of us truly know what bit will impact what report, but having really good dialogue with your credit providers, especially if you're struggling, even anticipation of possibly missing a payment, being proactive about it.
Because obviously we've had dilemmas in the past whereby people have said, do you remember the girl whose friend took out the car finance and then she literally went in and went, you should not have her history, you can see it and you've given that. I think it's irresponsible and we want you to kind of like take the car back. And then we've given advice before about if you're struggling to make a payment to reach out to
100%. I do it on the BBC all the time.
So would you do that ahead of schedule if you can see I'm not going to be able, right, okay.
If you are anticipating not being able to make credit payments, credit companies, especially, as enforced by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority, are required to like support you. And the main credit providers are big reputable companies. Like we're talking like the Lloyds and the Barclays and NatWest and huge Visa,
people dedicated to this
huge businesses that make an awful lot of money from people using credit. And so when credit goes wrong, they should be supporting them, and they have teams geared up for this. There's also in the UK, especially, there's a law that we refer to as breathing space. So if you go on Citizens Advice and look at breathing space, in fact, we've probably got a couple of articles on it. Yeah. It's if you think that your payments are getting a bit unmanageable, you can proactively contact your credit provider and request breathing space, where you can request that you have this 60-day period where you don't have to make payments and they freeze interest. And you have to be considered for it and you have to meet certain criteria. So go and do your research. But that would have been something that would have been helpful because it could have prevented a potential default. And during that time, when that's up, you can make a plan for either getting back on track or speaking to your provider about, is there anything I can do with payments? Can we lower them? Can I stretch them out over a term? Whatever the type of credit is, because they don't want you defaulting and they want you to pay it back and they don't want the debt to go bad, and they've got to listen to you as well. You may even challenge them and say this was unaffordable and I shouldn't have been lent it, which is a whole different fish.
Is obviously the way forward then, and having an open dialogue and communication. But like we've all been taught to feel like debt is quite like a shameful thing. Like as a society, we always talk about it. We're happy to throw it on people and influencers are promoting Klarna left, right and centre. And the minute we start to become overwhelmed with it, we feel guilty, like we're bad humans, we can't manage money, like we're incompetent, like we don't know. Yeah. Well, actually, there's an open dialogue. There are teams of people, and we know this from speaking with people like Barclays, that are dedicated to helping people once they get into a situation where they feel like they can't manage those minimum payments. Like Laura said, be proactive. If you know that's coming, there's an illness in the family, if there's someone's lost a job, like plan it. You should know. This is why budgeting is so important with financial as well.
You can foresee it coming.
You know what's coming. It's not going to be a surprise. And just having an open dialogue, like Laura said, will stop, possibly, I can't guarantee, might stop those defaults and then those marks on your credit score if they concern you.
Definitely think for our viewer or anyone that may be similar, speaking to Citizens Advice or jumping on a call with them, or try to like Step Change, because they specialise in being able to navigate people struggling with debt and maybe what to say, like if you want a script or if you want some help, or they may even support you in choosing, when you know the exact terms and conditions of each debt and what you could be defaulting on, what to pay off in what order. But the biggest takeaway for me is like, you're back on track now and you're getting ahead. Don't feel as guilty. Like this is a contract. Like all it is an agreement to borrow money and pay it back, and you just missed a payment. Like you are not evil. You are not bad. Don't feel as bad about this. Just go, this happens in business all the time. Like sometimes we don't hold up our end of the bargain. Obviously, we want you to always make payments, but it's not a personal thing. It's just a
And this
financial.
Is why like I won't take on any debt, because you stretch what you can afford as well. So when times are tough, like we make sure that our budget is as lean as possible. So whatever's thrown our way, we're more than likely to be able to like deal with it. Whereas if you take on, I don't know, if you get a new furniture, you move into a house, everyone always wants new furniture. It's like a thing. So I'll get it on not finance. Like I go on Facebook. I own a house. I've owned one for years, and my first port of call is I'm going to go on Facebook Marketplace and buy it in cash. And it might not be brand new, but I might do it up. Like Neil was looking at bikes the other day. He went straight to like an online store. It was like 230 quid. He was like, or 60. And he was like, oh, that's good, isn't it? And I was like, you're not desperate for a bike. You don't need it for work. It's not going to be something that we need to like invest a lot of money on. Can you not just find one on Facebook Marketplace? And he went, I'm so glad you said that. You got one for 90 quid.
Oh, that's good.
Like he didn't need the £260 brand new flashy bike. He needed a bike so he can go bike rides with the kids around the village. Like every so often.
For a minute, I thought you meant the monthly payment. I was like,
oh no, for the whole thing. But it just makes you And if you could have bought it paid for it in 3, maybe you'd have chosen a £500 bike.
100%.
Yeah.
You spend more with
it
credit. Yeah.
stretches your.
But it just highlights that because we just never know what's around the corner.
know.
And
We're all about keeping it lean, aren't we? Our budget. So
Yeah.
when we set up Financial, we've talked about before. We were like, how come as lean but happy, not like frugal
Happy
and. I'd love to be happily lean. That's the dream. But we talked about it a lot. The leaner you are in terms of like your unnecessary expenditure means that you can weather the storm.
Yeah.
It's all fine until it's not. And
Yeah.
I really feel for our listener. I think you're back on track and you're on the way and you're doing all the right things.
Yeah.
But don't feel as bad. Like screw
Definitely not. Okay, community win time. Yet another example of how sinking funds save lives appeared for me last week. My youngest starts secondary school in September, which is a very heavy birthday month in our household, with 3 out of 4 of us having birthdays.
Oof.
Last year, I was horrified about how much money September cost with the usual uniform costs, so started an automated September sinking fund to soften the blow. Fast forward to now, and my son got the uniform list, and I can cover all of it and more from my little pot without touching any other money. I'm so grateful for last September's me. There will even be money left over for some shoes.
We've just talked about this.
Yeah, literally.
We did ahead of summer because we knew that we had like all the clubs to pay for because we need to work every day.
Yeah.
A long time ago, we set up a sinking fund for summer, like to
Yeah.
cover these costs. And literally, we had more than we needed to put in the sinking fund, like this person. And I was like, Neil's like, we're 30 quid up. Like, that was free. It
Chips
cost-
for everyone.
Yeah, it was like 300 odd quid to pay for and we're on holiday for one of the weeks and we get help with grandparents. So that tells you how expensive this wraparound care can be in summer. And we put away for it every month a little bit more. We upped our, we call it like school budget or whatever it might be to pay for after school clubs and the sports clubs and everything. And Neil's like, let's go ham on it. Let's put more in it. And it literally paid for summer.
Amazing.
The school thing's massive and it's when you burned and she obviously went through that and went, no, not again. You know, and we all remember the dilemma about the parent who the school trip. And everyone was like, can we pay for the school trip? Can we pay for the school trip?
Every financial community member's brain.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's not that sinking funds is the answer to her scenario. She had a very particular scenario, but it can catch you out and it can blindside you. And if there's room in the budget to start something small, you'll not be caught out because school do this. Suddenly there's this club and suddenly there's this trip and suddenly there's this like event at Christmas or suddenly, there's things will come out and that wouldn't usually go in a budget, especially if you're not used to the school stuff. So that's great stuff. I like the January sinking fund. Remember, it's like
I
people do it in
love
the
the January
community
sinking
because January is like a
fund.
miserable month.
And we always say it's 50% off food most places in January.
Yeah.
Like you could even just
If
put a
there's
bit
a time.
away. It could go so far.
Fun
No
food
one goes
month.
out in January, but all the people that have a January sinking fund do.
Yeah.
Like, where are these people?
They can have all the deals.
If you'd like to tell us your win, head to the community in the app or email it to thevault@financial.com. Okay. Time for our dilemma.
Oh, this was, you said,
I
it's
like
like
this
controversial. More
Well, I don't
controversial than
like
the
it.
controversial opinion.
Yeah. This will get us riled up.
Oh, God.
Okay. Dilemma number 2. Hey team, first of all, I just want to tell you how much I love the pod. It keeps me so motivated and on track, so thank you girls. Second of all, my rant, and maybe some advice too, because I'm sure this won't be the last time it happens. We're currently having some work done on the outside of our house. I'm on maternity leave right now, so I'm usually the one home when the builder's here. Every time he asks me something, he tells me to ask my partner rather than just speaking to me. I usually brush it off, but last week he suggested repainting our gate, and I said, yes, go ahead. His response? To ask my partner's permission again. So I told him, I can see Holly like this in the corner of my eye. So I told him, I don't need to ask my partner, you can just do it. My partner and I are a team. We have a pot of money for the house that we've both saved into, and we trust each other's decisions on how to spend it. I gave the builder permission to do the work on our gate 4 times in person. Then yesterday he texted me saying, did you ask your partner about the gate? I need to know if it's something I'm doing so I can plan for it next week. Rightly or wrongly, this really peed me off. I'd already told him 4 times to go ahead with it. I think he assumes my partner is the one paying, probably because I'm on maternity leave. The man doing the work is in his 60s, so I've tried to give him some grace. Maybe things had worked differently in his marriage. But honestly, this really annoyed me. So here's my question. What do I do? Do I correct his behaviour and tell him it's not just my partner paying for it? Or do I not bother? Because honestly, why should I have to? P.S. Fuck the patriarchy.
Now we're talking.
Okay.
Oh, I'm annoyed. Oh.
I mean, this is just to like rile you
This
guys
will be,
up
like,
really.
nationwide.
She doesn't mention that like they're having work done on the house and they're at the painting the game level. Are they nearly at the end? Because I feel like soon
Yeah,
you're
it's
gonna
like,
get this guy out of your life.
Our friend
and-
always says, suck it up, buttercup. And it's like, is it a case of that for a short
Yeah.
amount of time and protecting your own peace of mind that you just brush it off because it sounds like you've done a great job of that so far? But then there just becomes ignorant to ask someone 4 times and then to follow up with a text. I would be talking to Neil. I'd be like, Neil,
Do you know what I would do?
you speak to him.
Well, what do you do?
Just wait for it to be, don't attempt, because he's giving set in his ways energy.
Yeah.
Review.
Oh. You wanna
Keyboard
do a
warrior.
review? He's probably not on the internet.
No,
give a shit.
Sure. Or get it around the local village.
Always a misogynist. They'll be like, yeah, we know, Tony. We all know.
It's, you know, whether it's sexism or racism, like when it's a particular age group, there are conflicting views about, like, I'm the person that calls it out. And
yeah, because some people just go, oh, it's just a generational thing. I'm like,
No.
which is why you need
to say something.
Yeah.
And so, you know, sometimes you look at the, you know, like I said with this one, and I think I've had this recently, and you know, it's annoying that I can't recall what happened, but this happened to me where something was said and you feel like going, no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I am so conflicted. Like, what do you do? Do you say something, or is it like, oh, this lost cause, and you just go, oh, whatever?
She said something 4 times. I honestly would get Neil to be like, mate, in front of me,
Yeah.
she makes the decisions. Like, she is in this.
Yeah.
We're in this together. So if Holly says, paint the gate, mate, you paint the gate. Like, I feel like you need an ally in this situation
Yeah.
to back you up. You're not, because you don't want to be portrayed as the crazy, like,
I
vote for
told
women, like, this, like,
Yeah.
caricature. Do you know
Suffragette.
what I mean? I'm going to eat for the rest of the day.
March
Hunger strike attached to the gate.
Hunger strike. I could never.
to the gate. Is it painted? Have we painted it yet? Has he done it? But
Sage green, please. But carry on.
You hear it a lot. You hear things like,
Yeah.
you know, the bill being given to the man in a
It's
restaurant.
like, that's fine. You carry on.
We
if
are-
not, she slides it over to Alex.
F the patriarchy when we want it. Yeah, when we don't want it. But or like in business meetings, someone will speak to.
Someone said about
Yeah.
carrying something to me.
What do you mean?
Oh, you better get Neil to help you carry that. I was like, I will be carrying it on my
Excuse me.
own just to prove a point.
When
Nearly
they were-
killed myself. I think it was
we
a
might-
plant pot. I
in
think it was
the-
Neil's dad.
In the lads group, one of them needed help with a fridge freezer, and I think Carl was like, "I'm free, but Laura's stronger, so like I'll send her." I think. Do you remember
So
I had
little.
I had a chat with a gentleman, and we talked about.
Yes, I
I said,
did. I know what you're
I
gonna
said my
say.
CFO, and he went, "Oh, and what did
He.
he say?" And I went,
Oh.
"She."
I love all those things. And it's like,
So-
what are the like micro feminist
Yes.
stuff like that you do? You just
So
assume
that's
every
it.
like.
So that's the TikTok thing, is it? That
Yeah.
it's like, where are the moments where you can do these minor corrections and reinforcements and.
There was a big
You know, what I would
campaign,
do. I'd
wasn't
like
there?
pretend that I was a lesbian.
My wife. Oh,
There's no
okay.
husband. There's no husband. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Who?
100%.
If it's
Yeah.
like, check with your husband. Who? Just get
Ew.
incompetent. Just
Yeah.
be like, who?
Yeah, reinforce that. Why are
Yeah.
you presuming I've got a husband? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they've met, but you know,
Just
why are
go
you
on
presuming?
Hinge, just walk around like a crown on your head and be like, I'm telling you, paint the...
I definitely think in most of these scenarios, I can't fucking help myself. So I am like, there's no chance I'm not saying anything, but I am a high empath. I'm a high 2. So I will usually just be a bit passive aggressive with it and joke and like
I
kind
always
of go.
doing a joke. I'd be
I'm
like,
sorry.
listen, Tony, it's not 1940 now. I go to work and I earn the money in this house. So do you want to just do what
Tony.
I say? You know what I mean? Like, you can do it in a funny way. You can go, listen up.
Yeah,
I've done it. We've done it. We've done that. Laura and I thrive on
we love it.
addressing a political issue, dressing up in humour.
Can we come
but
round?
Still a bit of a sting. to make the point,
Yeah.
but it's shrouded in humour, so you
Yeah.
don't look like a bitch, because that's what you'll be
Yeah.
portrayed as. Do you know what I mean?
She is right with
Do
right
the
off it.
Bridget
Like,
Jones jellyfish scene where the girl goes, "Oh, Bridget, you're looking old," ding, and it's like there's a
Yeah.
jellyfish in the bottom corner. It's like
Stings.
counting them up. Just give it the sting.
Yeah,
but with
yeah.
but you're dressing it up nicely. Listen, Tony, don't ask Neil what colour or weather or whatever.
Tony, do you want to be paid? Because
Yeah.
I'm paying,
Or
even if I'm not.
well, I think getting an ally is always a good thing. So
Yeah.
like your husband going, listen, she makes the decisions around here, mate. Don't message me. It's up to
Or
her.
if there's a co-worker,
Give
if
her the
Tony has a
power.
co-worker called
Yeah.
Bob. Bob,
Yeah.
is Tony listening?
Yeah.
Has he got a hearing
It's
problem?
falling on deaf ears.
Sorry for any deaf
Turn your
people.
hearing aid on. I am the man of the house.
Yeah, it's selective verse. Selective.
You knew what you were doing with this dilemma. She's like,
Oh, God.
the end of the pod. I'm just going to drop it in. Let him go
But-
unhinged for 10 minutes.
But whoever, like I said, whoever has sent that in, play it to your personality type. Like, so, you know, see if it's
Yes.
easy for us to say, because we would love that
oh, I
scenario.
would never do it really. This is me like,
Oh, no, I do. I do. I do.
Then you'd say it and then you'd be stuck inside your house whenever he's walking outside.
duck. Have you ever done that where like the sort of handyman's come and you're like diving into a room, you just don't want to
100%.
make the awkward
Amazon
conversation.
Man, I'm like, I'll just wait, leave her on the corner.
I saw a funny TikTok where someone was like, when the handyman's round and so you can't walk freely around your house, you have to hide in a room.
Yeah.
Even though you've got
You
lots of
have
stuff you
to
want to
dart.
do. It's your place and you're just going about your business in your house, but
We
you
had-
can't possibly.
We had a handyman come to our house the other day and I wouldn't answer the door. And Neil was like, answer the door. I was like, no, because I thought it was someone else. And he was like, answer the door. I was shouting. I'm like, shut up. And I didn't realise it was him. I was hiding from someone. I can't say who. And physically I was hiding. He was going, answer the door. I booked this man to come.
And the man's like, I can see you, Mrs. Holland. I can hear you.
And I opened the door. He's getting back in his car. Neil's like, you run down the street. I was like, I'm really sorry. I thought you were someone else. I was like, I admit I was hiding from you. But come in. Do you want a brew? He was like, what is going
Now
on?
you're smothering me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
Running down the street after this
Oh my
man that I
God.
blatantly was lying on the floor hiding from. Oh, it's tough.
We'll speak to Tony for you. Sorry for any Tonys out there.
We'll send you a voice note to play to him. Out the window. Okay, that is all for this episode. The Vault is now closed. And just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and many topics. We're not giving financial advice.